Welcome to The Explainer. Today we are diving into a book that, and I'm not kidding, might just change everything you think you know about running, our bodies, in a hidden tribe of super athletes.
All right, let's kick things off with a pretty wild number, up to 80%. That's the percentage of all runners who get injured every single year. Seriously, think about that. The next time you see a local 5K, just look at the people lined up. Statistically, the vast majority of them are going to be dealing with some kind of pain before the year's out.
And yeah, that leads us to the huge central question of the book. The author, Christopher McDougall, he was a runner himself, and he was just constantly getting hurt. His doctors were telling him, hey, maybe running is just bad for you. But that just didn't sit right. I mean, why are we humans the only mammals that seem to get hurt from just running? You don't see antelope pulling their hamstrings, right?
Now you'd think our fancy modern technology would fix this, wouldn't you? Well, here's the kicker. McDougall found the exact opposite was true. For 30 years, we've been cramming microchips, gel pockets, and air pumps into our shoes. And the result? Injury rates haven't dropped at all. In fact, for certain injuries, like Achilles tendon blowouts, they've actually gone up.
So you've got this frustrating paradox, right? Our most natural movement causes us tons of pain, and our best tech is completely failing to fix it. This whole mess sent McDougall on a quest. He decided to leave the sports labs behind and journey to one of the most remote and dangerous places on the planet to find an answer.
And this quest brought him face to face with this incredible contrast. On one side, you have us, the modern runner. We're often hurt, and for many, running feels like a chore. And then on the other side, you have the legendary Tarahumara tribe, hidden deep in Mexico's Copper Canyons. These people run hundreds of miles for fun in what are basically thin sandals, and they almost never, ever get hurt.
But finding the Tarahumara, well, it wasn't exactly easy. It's not like you can just book a flight. This meant heading deep into this treacherous landscape of sheer cliffs and winding gorges, a place where it's incredibly easy to get lost and maybe even easier to find some serious trouble.
And the danger was no joke. The Copper Canyons aren't just remote, they're the heart of cartel country. McDougall had to navigate a world run by violent drug runners, a place where journalists and even folk singers were being executed. So this wasn't just some reporting trip, it was a legitimately life-threatening adventure.
But once he found them, McDougall discovered a people who had a totally different relationship with running. They didn't run just to get from point A to point B. No, they ran for the sheer joy of it, for their community, and as a form of celebration. They play this game called Raji Pari. It's kind of like a kickball race that can go on for days, covering hundreds of miles.
Okay, so what was their secret? How did they do it? McDougall started to realize it wasn't just one thing. It was more like a combination of factors, and he managed to boil it down to three key elements: what they eat, how they move, and what they wear on their feet.
Secret number one was their fuel. And it wasn't some fancy lab-designed energy gel. It was a simple, ancient drink called isquiate, made from chia seeds. And get this. This is the same stuff that powered Aztec messengers on their unbelievable runs centuries ago.
And this stuff is just unbelievably potent. We're talking about a single tablespoon of these little seeds being a complete nutritional powerhouse. It has more omega-3s than salmon, more antioxidants than blueberries. It's basically a superfood that you can grow with a chia pet. It's wild. Secret number two was their form. The Tarahumara run with this almost silent, incredibly efficient motion. Think light, quick, short steps, keeping their feet directly under their body. It's like they're dancing over the ground. It's a style born from running on really rough terrain in flimsy sandals, a style that naturally minimizes impact and saves energy. So, these ancient methods clearly worked in the canyons, but could they actually hold up in the modern world of competitive ultra running? Well, the ultimate test was about to go down at one of America's most brutal races, the Leadville Trail 100. This quote from the race director, Ken Schlober, it just perfectly sums up the spirit of Leadville, Colorado. This is a town that sits 2 miles high in the Rockies, and its 100-mile race is just as tough. A complete monster of high altitude and punishing climbs that chews up and spits out most runners. So, in 1994, the Tarahumara show up at Leadville again. But this time, they're facing a new rival. the absolute legend of ultrarunning, Anne Trayson. Her nickname was La Bruja, the Witch. She was a dominant force, and she was there to race hard. The stage was set for a truly epic showdown between ancient tradition and modern grit. And the result? It was absolutely mind-blowing. The Tarahumara didn't just win, they completely rewrote the rulebook. A 25-year-old Tarahumara farmer, a guy named Juan Hera, he won the whole thing, and he shattered the course record. They proved that their ancient way of running wasn't just some quaint old tradition, it was actually superior.
But here's the thing. This incredible victory, it wasn't just about the Tarahumara. It pointed to a much deeper truth, a secret hidden away inside our own biology, a secret about what it really means to be human.
See, biologists like Dr. Daniel Lieberman at Harvard started really looking at our anatomy, and they found that we have this unique set of features. We have a special ligament to keep our head from bobbing around, these huge glute muscles for power, and long, springy Achilles tendons. But our real superpower? We can sweat. While nearly every other animal has to stop and pant to cool down, we have our own built-in, full-body radiator.
And this biological advantage allowed our ancestors to do something called persistence hunting, a technique they used for almost 2 million years. Here's how it works. You couldn't outrun an antelope in a sprint, no way. But you could outlast it by just jogging relentlessly on a hot day, forcing it to sprint and overheat again and again. You could literally run an animal to death.
So what does all this mean? It means running isn't just a hobby we picked up a few decades ago. It's the master skill that made us human in the first place. We are all descendants of the greatest endurance runners on the planet. Every single one of us. We were born to run. And that's the final, provocative thought the book leaves us with. The Tarahumara. They never forgot. They simply kept practicing a skill that lies dormant in pretty much all the rest of us. It suggests that the secret to joyful, injury-free movement isn't about buying the next great shoe, but about remembering something our bodies already know how to do.